Let's say you win.
Well, I will win. So
Okay.
when on my
you win.
Instagram post, you say change the word if to when. So that's just, you should follow my Instagram closer.
Okay.
It'll inspire you.
They called it a rivalry. The ever-confident chess prodigy versus the GOAT. But they also said, you come for the king, you best not miss.
And look at Magnus.
Yeah.
Take this pawn. It's not relevant here.
He might even take, I was going to say, he might even take the exchange right now. I thought he might play rook takes c6 first, but the idea is sort of the same. Knight takes g7 and bishop f6 are threats on the board, everybody. Hans has less than 15 seconds. This is a one-sided game, as dominant as any we have seen in the first three. Magnus Carlsen is bringing the pain and bringing the house over here.
I think he could just take on g7 with his knight, but you do want to calculate. You just don't want to give away your pieces when you're up 2.5 minutes. So for Magnus Carlsen, he's in a dominant position. He's leading by 1 point, about to make that 2. But look at him, knight f6 with a fork, and if you take it, bishop takes, and the king is smothered in the corner. That's just a checkmate.
Well, queen h5 is coming next. We have more checkmate threats. Rook takes c6 might just be adding insult to injury. No, he doesn't even want it. I mean, that was a free piece. He'll probably take it after bishop takes f6 check. Hans made that move with 0.7 seconds. Rook takes c6. Hans not going to resign. I think that from a match strategy point of view, are we already thinking, all right, this isn't going well? Is it the psychology you and I talk about of let me work out the nerves? Or is it like, I'm already thinking about getting seconds off the clock because I actually like my chances in faster time controls against Magnus?
Oh, I think it's quite clear that Hans's best chances are in the quicker time controls, but let's not forget that Magnus Carlsen is no slouch in bullet chess. So no matter what time control, it's going to be a problem. Magnus Carlsen wins by resignation. Black King, it's not the safest square for it. You would hope that there are more pawns safeguarding it, but with some weak light squares, there could be some checks against it, and if you can't parry them off, that will give white drawing chances. But that's why Magnus, he presses forward, pawn to f5. Hans really is barely getting his moves off. 0.4 seconds when he made that last move, and the white queen is in, but unfortunately for Hans, that the black queen is centralized. I mean, look at this, Danny. E3 happens, C3 will be loose, and maybe queen f4, queen f2.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening. The queen comes in, the e-pawn will run. There is no perpetual. Ooh, Magnus wants more. He's going to take pawns with check and make sure that he works it with no diggity here. He might even get the queens off the board before he advances e2. No, now queen f5 check was easier, but 2 queens will get the job done. Magnus Carlsen has a 3-game lead. And may not have calculated it. He's now all in with a piece sacrifice.
Shaking his head.
Yeah, he did
realize he went wrong there.
Yeah, Magnus shakes his head. He does have a time advantage, but he's down material. Hans Niemann could be winning his second game. Knock on wood there. No commentator's curse, but we said you have to strike a couple times against Magnus to make him nervous.
And you see that he's going after the black king. Rook takes 6, pawn takes. Suddenly, we have a material amount. You can't take here because it's checkmate in 1. So do not think that Hans blundered a rook.
Rook e7 guards g7. But oh my gosh, rook a6, the rook. Where's Levy when you need him?
He sacrificed the rook. Queen takes e7, going for the mate against the black king. And now rook b6. There's going to be rook a6.
Oh my
a7.
gosh, and Magnus is turning this around.
Rook takes c6.
What in the world is going on here?
His rook takes c6 ideas, and he
only has 1 second. He's not going to move fast enough. Wait a second. He's solving everything with just seconds on his clock.
This is unbelievable. The rook on e7 was loose. It still is
loose. Oh my
loose.
gosh. Every rook is sacrificed. Where are you, Levy?
White is up just 2 pawns, so now it's easy for Magnus Carlsen. This doesn't require much effort for him on the conversion. Black doesn't even have threats against the white king. That's a centralized queen, and there goes the b-pawn.
And not Hans Niemann. I mean, again, we said it on record, off record, whenever we were asked, and again, it's exactly what the media, this match had more attention from non-traditional chess media than anyone we've done in maybe ever. I mean, frankly, in a very long time. And when you get asked the question, like, who's the favorite, who's going to win, you try to find new ways to say it for it to sound politically correct and not just like bias, but the obvious answer is that Magnus Carlsen is the favorite in every chess match that he plays.
Yeah, it's not disrespectful to say that. I think with all the tension and all the media and the fireworks between these two, it seems like that. But objectively speaking, when you have the #1 rated player playing someone that he outrates by about 100 points in classical chess and even more in blitz chess, at least in terms of over-the-board ratings, then it's clear that Magnus is the heavy favorite. That's not a disrespectful statement. And I think that between these two, of course, there is a ton of bad blood. I don't think that's ever going to go away. I think that these two, you know, if they play many more matches, we'll see much more of their talking. But I think for Magnus, he is letting his moves do the talking. He is playing a great match, and he's about to win another game as multiple rooks are under attack.
Yep.
And I think that Hans,
guarded, by the way.
Yeah, Hans is getting cooked here.
we've avoided just saying the chess spoke for itself many times.
I felt like he was actually playing quite well, but he does blunder a lot. And with with little time, he was not playing well.
You nervous at all for this match? If not, have you been nervous for any match?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if nervous. Yeah, I was like a little bit nervous. Definitely more tense than usual. I mean, it's something I really wanted to get over with.